finding that right next step to grow your business. I'm excited to have you as part of the Liftoff program. My offer to try and shorten that learning curve for you and growing your business in a purpose-led manner, more seamlessly and with a greater joy. Well, after all, that's why we started our businesses in the first place, to take something, a product or a service that we saw wasn't happening, how we could make it happen, and we wanted to make it better. I suppose you could say we have a purpose, or at least an intention already. And Wise Way has been built to take that purpose and to create a greater impact of that purpose into the community that you serve. Great institutions around the world, such as Harvard, the Boston Consulting Group, and to a much lesser extent myself, who's lived the journey, say that purpose-led organizations have the ability to outperform non-purpose organizations by between 20 and 40%. But that's enough of the big institutions around the world. Let's come back to you. And that's what the Liftoff program is all about. The entrepreneur wanting to find that right next step to grow forward. So you have your bespoke growth guide, which hopefully you've downloaded from your email. And you probably looked at it and it's got a bit of red and amber and you thought, I'm going to wait to the webinar to understand that a little bit more. And that's what the webinar is all about. But I want to give you just that little bit of food for thought on purpose and more what purpose-led organizations are. Firstly, I'm going to tell you what they're not. Purpose-led organizations are not those organizations that don't care about having a commercially viable business model that they want to be able to take wherever, geographically, across borders, wherever that may be. In fact, it's the opposite. It's those organizations that care so much about the viability of their business model. They want to make sure that it impacts commercially for the customer, for those involved in the business, and beyond the customer into the community, making something even better. Purpose-led organizations are not those organizations that see money as this necessary evil. It's the opposite. Those are the organizations that value money and want to get it to work harder for the cause, for the customer, for the community, and beyond. So when you are looking at your purpose, it's good to be turning up to the webinar thinking, what is that difference I want to make, and how am I currently making that for the customer? If you look at the power of purpose-led, and let's take the metaphor of how information has evolved from going from A to B over the decades, or in fact the centuries. Let's look at the beginning. Let's call it pigeon post with a stamp, and now extending up to this fiber optic speed where information can land in your lounge like it's really there within a nanosecond. Purpose-led organizations is about taking your purpose as the letter that you write to yourself and your customer. And instead of putting that stamp on it and finding that way to get to that customer, it's about creating and surrounding it with the fiber optic speed that we can experience today. And that is purpose-led. I look forward to beginning your journey with the webinar. So think of your purpose, and even if you don't get a chance to watch some of the links below, which talks about purpose-led organizations just that little bit more, turn up with your best self, with your intention in your envelope, ready to see how you can put those broadband fiber optics to making this matter.